So this is called a weak entity, and weak attributes will be there. Weak entity attributes. Let us take dependent name, dependent age, dependent location. Okay, there are many attributes like this. Okay, are you following, guys? Hello.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So next is, okay, good number that you have. We can see in our previous discussion, like here diagram. See here, this is weak entity type, relationship type, and weak entity type. Okay, weak entity type is with double rectangular shape, and dependent of is a relationship type. Again, this is uh, weak entity relationship type, right? If it is represented within rectangular or rhombus, double rhombus shape, that is called weak entity type, and weak entity relationship type. Okay, this is the part of weak entity related to weak entity. Okay, again, the key attribute, what we have having dashed line, like means underline, but weak entity key attribute is, that is called partial key, is again dotted lines. This is underline, this is dotted line. Okay, so these are the various you can say here. Weak entity type key is nothing but partial key, that is dotted line, underline with dotted line, and relationship type must be in the rectangle, means double rhombus shape. Okay, double rhombus shape. Okay, that's about weak entity and its explanation. Next, we'll move on to the topic called constraints on relationships. Constraints means it's a conditions we can call, or rules we can call. Okay, constraints on relationship. Okay, already we have discussion on like how the participation ratio between the binary relationship, like two or more relations participating in a relationship type, like entity, like employee and department. Employee and department, there are two relations. We are establishing a relationship type, like works on, works for. Okay, works for department. Employees works for department. Okay, employee works on department. Okay, like this you can make it a relationship type. Based on that, we have a constraint ratio. Okay, that's called cardinality ratio, which specifies maximum participation. Maximum participation. And constraints on relationship types are also known as ratio constraints. Ratio constraints, like what is the participation ratio? Like we have n number of employees, one department, or n number of departments, and few employees are working under some department, few employees working for other department. Directly, it's not linked with any department, right? Few faculties, but indirectly they are working for some department. For example, when you take electives or any departments like NSS, or in might be physical education department, there, even though total number of students are related to that particular department, few students they are not participating in particular department. Okay, that is called partial ratio, or how much participation there. Okay, when you take yearly wise records, may hardly NSS may finish off 50 or 100 students. They're done with in a social services, the many people they are not attended. Okay, so there, what is the participation? It might be less compared to the total number of participation, right? So that ratio is called coordinative ratio. Have you followed? So in this we have four types. One is one-to-one ratio, one-to-many ratio, or many-to-one ratio, and many-to-many ratio. Okay. So existence dependency constraints which specifies minimum participations. Okay, dependency means minimum participation, which is also called participation constraint. Okay, maybe we have zero participation, that's called optional, 0 to n number, or minimum we can say 0 and maximum we can say 1, and minimum we can say 1 and maximum we can say n. Okay, like this. Okay, and total means both the ends, maximum we can say, that's called maximum participation. Okay, so we can see that in a diagrammatic way, like here we have many to one, that is n is to 1 relationship type. There are n employees works for department. There are n employees works for particular department. In department D1, we have E1, E3, and E6. Okay, there are three employees who are working. E1, E3, and E6 working under department 1. Okay, with relationship R1, R3, and R5. Okay, or R6. Like relationship type also may changes, works for, or that instances may, means these are called instances. Whatever we written within the old shape circles, this is called R1 is an instance, R2 is an instance, R3 is an instances. Okay, here also employees also we have instances of their employees and department table. Okay, or relation. The instances of employee are related to or relationship with the department through some relationship instances. Okay, like 1 n is to 1, or you can say 1 is to n if you write in reversing way. And here we have many to many. Employee works on projects. There are 1 to 1, like employee 1 with relationship instance R1 with project P1. Okay, and but project P1 is again work from means it is worked from two employees, E1 and E2 are working under P1, and P2 has only one employee through instance R4, and P3 again two employees, and P4 again two employees. Like this, have a coordinated ratio many to many. There are many projects, many employees, few are under working on one department, one project, and few are working on other projects. But total participation is there here. Okay, all employees are working under all projects. Okay. So this is called many to many relationship type. Next is displaying a recursive relationship type. Okay, recursive relationship. Just now we have discussed, no, like repeatedly calling itself, or employee uh, supervision on employee. Okay, one employee supervisor on all employees, or all employees are supervised by one employee. Okay, that's called vice versa, we can say. In recursive relationship type, both participations are same. Both the participations are same entity type in different roles. Both the participations are same entity type in different roles. Example is supervision. relationships between employee and employee, but in employee in role of supervisor or boss, and another employee in role of subordinate or worker. Okay, subordinate or worker, as shown in the following figure. See here, employee, this is a common employee, and we have a supervision is a relationship type. Supervision is a relationship type. Employee, supervisor, supervisee, supervision, supervising. Okay, like it is vice versa. Employee to supervision, again it is employee. That is one cycle we can call, like supervisor, supervisee. Okay. See, we can here named as the one is called supervisor role. Wherever one is there, the relationship or it is participation, that is called supervisor. Wherever two is there, that is called subordinate or the worker, we can say. Like this, we can establish a relationship type that is called recursive relationship type. Whatever relationship is performing or participation is performing here only between employee to employee only. Okay, from one end a supervisor, employee as a supervisor, and another end employer as employee as a supervisor. Okay, supervisor or supervisor.